If you are a teen with $1,000 in 2026, there is one move that sounds responsible but can quietly slow your growth for years. It is telling yourself you will start investing later, when you have more money and feel more ready. The truth is $1,000 at 16 can beat $10,000 at 26 if you set it up right. And in the next couple minutes, I will show you the exact setup I would use, plus the one mistake that makes teens sell at the worst possible time without even realizing it. Most people think you only have 3 options with $1,000. Spend it, leave it in your bank account where it barely moves, or toss it into one random stock because someone online swears it is next. The 4th option is what normal people use to actually build wealth, and it is not about being a genius. You build a simple system where part of your money stays safe so life cannot mess up your plan, and the rest goes into a boring, on-purpose investment that grows with the U.S. economy over time. Here is the 4th option in plain English. You keep a small emergency buffer in cash, and you invest the rest into a broad index fund, which is basically one purchase that owns a little piece of a lot of big American companies. Then you automate small contributions so it keeps growing even when you are busy being a teenager. If you want more step-by-step money videos that are actually built for your age, hit subscribe. This is Savvy Jen. Now let us talk about the mistake that forces people to sell. It is not picking the wrong stock. It is investing every single dollar and leaving yourself no breathing room. Because real life will happen. Your phone cracks. Your car needs gas and then needs a tire. Your school club fee pops up. Your work hours get cut. If your cash is trapped in the market and you need it fast, you end up selling whatever you invested, even if the market is down that week. That is how people turn investing into stress. So the first step is not picking a fund. The first step is setting up a tiny safety zone. In 2026, high-yield savings accounts are easy to find in the U.S., and they usually pay more interest than a regular bank savings account. That is where your buffer goes. Not because you are scared, but because you are smart. If $1,000 is basically your whole financial world right now, I would keep around $200 as a buffer in a high-yield savings account and invest around $800. If you have steady paychecks and you already have some savings, you can keep a smaller buffer like $100 and invest $900. The exact number is not magic. The point is you can handle a surprise without touching your investments. Now we hit the fork in the road that decides what account you use, and I am going to make this super simple. The question is, do you have earned income? Earned income just means you worked and got paid. A W-2 job counts. Babysitting, mowing lawns, tutoring, editing videos, and other real side gigs can count too, if you can track what you made. If you have earned income, I would use a Roth IRA. If you do not have earned income, I would use a regular brokerage account. Either way, you can still invest in the same kind of long-term fund, so do not get stuck thinking one path means you cannot start. Since you are a teen, your account will usually be custodial. Here is what that means in real life. The money is for you, but a parent or guardian is the one who has control of the account until you are old enough, usually 18 and sometimes older depending on the account and state. That is also why it helps to come in with a calm plan, because parents get nervous when they think investing equals gambling. Now let me give you the Roth IRA part without turning this into a lecture, because this is where people start drifting. There are really just 2 rules you need to remember. Rule 1 is you can only put in up to what you earned that year. If you earned $600, you can contribute up to $600. Rule 2 is the main benefit. If you follow the rules later, the growth in a Roth IRA can come out tax-free in the future. That is why it is so powerful when you start young. If you do not have earned income, you just use the regular custodial brokerage account for now. You are not behind. You are still building the habit and letting time work for you. When you get a job later, you can start using a Roth IRA then. Quick reset so everything feels clear. Cash buffer and high-yield savings so you never get forced to sell. Right account based on earned income, Roth IRA if yes, regular brokerage if no. Same investing idea inside both. That is the whole foundation. Now the fun part, what I would actually buy with the invested portion. And this is where I want you to be really careful, because this is where social media gets teens in trouble. When you only have $1,000, the goal is not to swing for a home run. The goal is to get on base, consistently, for years. That is why I would start with an index fund. An index fund is a basket of companies. Instead of betting everything on one company, you buy a little piece of a lot of companies at once. In the US, the most common ones follow the S&P 500, or the total US stock market. That just means you are investing in the big picture of American business, instead of trying to guess one winner. You might hear the word ETF when people talk about this. You do not need to obsess over it. In simple terms, it is just an index fund you can buy inside your investing app, the same way you would buy a stock. And because apps let you buy fractions, you can invest in small amounts even if one share looks expensive. Translation: you can buy this fund in tiny pieces with whatever you have, right inside the same account. If it was me, I would pick one broad low-fee use index fund and keep it simple. Low fee just means the fund charges a tiny yearly cost to run it, and lower is better because it leaves more growth in your pocket. You do not need the perfect choice. You need a solid broad choice that you can stick with. Let me make it feel real with a quick teen moment. Imagine you buy one hype stock because a video said it is about to blow up. Now every day you are checking it between classes. Your mood changes with the price. Your friends text you when it drops. That is exhausting. Now imagine you own a broad index fund. Some companies in it will have a bad month. Some will have a great month. You are not staring at one chart hoping it saves you. That calm is not boring. That calm is what keeps you invested long enough to win. Now I know what you are thinking. What if the market drops right after I invest? Honestly, it might. Markets go up and down. But if you are a teen investing for the long term, a drop is not a personal failure. It is just a price change. And if you keep adding over time, lower prices can actually help you because your money buys more shares. The only way a normal drop turns into a real problem is if you panic sell, which is exactly what the buffer helps you avoid. So here is what I would literally do on a random weekday, like a Wednesday after school, when I finally decide I am done overthinking. I would sit down with a parent or guardian and say it like this: I want to open a custodial investing account. I am buying a broad US index fund, and I am not day trading. That sentence changes the whole conversation because it sounds responsible, and it is responsible. Then I would pick a well-known US brokerage that offers custodial accounts, fractional investing, and automatic investing. The brand matters less than the basics. You want it simple to use and easy to automate. Once the account is open, I would transfer the money. I would move the buffer portion into the high-yield savings account. Then I would invest the rest into that broad US index fund. Not spread out over 10 days because I am nervous. Just invest it. The goal is to get started and let time do its job. Then I would set up automatic investing for the future. This is the part that separates people who invest once from people who build wealth. Even if it is $20 a week or $50 a month, I would automate it from my paycheck so it happens without me having to constantly decide. You do not want investing to depend on your mood. Sometimes funds send out small cash payouts during the year. People call those dividends. Again, do not get stuck on the word. It is just a little bit of cash some investments pay you. If your app lets you automatically reinvest those payouts, turn that on so the cash buys more shares for you. That way your money stays working without you doing anything. Let me give you a simple example that feels like real life. You invest $800 today. Then you set $25 a week on auto invest. That is not some rich kid number. That is like skipping 2 random fast food trips. Over a year, that is about $1,300 invested just from the weekly habit. Over 4 years of high school, that habit becomes a serious head start. And most people your age will not have anything close. Now the part nobody warns you about. 2 months later, you check the account and it is down. Not down forever, just down right now. And your brain goes, see, I knew it, I should have waited. This is where teens quit. Not because the plan is bad, but because the feeling is uncomfortable. So I would make one rule to protect myself from my own emotions. I would only check the account once a month. Pick a day, like the first of the month. Check it, then close it. Checking every day turns investing into a drama show. Checking monthly turns it into progress. And if you want a cheat code for staying calm, remember this. Your goal is not to be right this week. Your goal is to own more shares over time. Shares are the thing that compounds. The more you own, the more you participate when the market grows. Now I want to keep you interested without getting you in trouble, because I know some of you are thinking, what about individual stocks? Can I buy a few? You can, but only after your base is set. If you want learning money, use tiny new money from future paychecks, not the core 800. Think of it like this. Your index fund is your foundation. Your learning picks are just practice. Practice is fine. Breaking your foundation is not. And please do not confuse investing with entertainment. If an app is pushing you into high-risk trades, fast flipping, or complicated bets, that is not beginner investing. That is a different game, and it is a game most beginners lose. If your goal is freedom later, keep your foundation simple. Now let me make the Roth IRA part crystal clear one more time, because this is the only reason I even bring it up. If you have earned income, a Roth IRA is worth it because your growth can be tax-free later. But you can only contribute up to what you earned that year. That is it. That is the entire thing you need to remember. You do not need a tax speech. You need a rule you can follow. If you are doing side gigs and you get paid in cash, just track what you earn so you do not accidentally contribute more than you made. A simple note on your phone with dates and amounts is enough for most teens to stay organized. You are not trying to be perfect. You are trying to be consistent and honest. Now here is a moment I want you to picture, because it is why this matters. Imagine you are 19 or 20 and you have been investing automatically for a few years. Not huge money, just steady money. While your friends are stressing about being broke every time something happens, you have a buffer. You have a habit. You have an account that has been growing in the background. That does not just give you money. It gives you confidence, because you know you are building something. And the best part is, you do not have to do anything crazy to get there. You just have to avoid the two big mistakes: waiting forever to start, and investing every dollar so you get forced to sell. If you want a fast recap you can repeat to yourself later, here it is. Keep 1 to 200 in high-yield savings as a buffer. Invest the rest in one broad U.S. index fund. Use a Roth IRA if you have earned income, otherwise a custodial brokerage account. Automate a small weekly or monthly amount. Check monthly, not daily, then go live your life. Now I want to hear where you are at, because it helps me make the next video match your situation. Comment yes or no. Do you have earned income right now? Just yes or no, no long story needed. And if you have a friend who always says they want to start investing, but they keep waiting, share this video with them. It is easier to stick with a plan when you and a friend are both building the habit at the same time. Before we wrap up, let me handle one last parent concern, because this comes up all the time. If your parent is nervous about the custodial account, tell them this is not you trying to flip stocks. It is a long-term index fund with a cash buffer, with automatic investing, and they control the account until you are old enough. That usually turns the conversation from no to okay, show me. Your one next step today is simple. Decide your buffer amount and open the account. That is it. Even if you do the actual investing tomorrow, opening the account is the move that turns this from an idea into a real system. And next, you should watch my weekly paycheck plan for teens in 2026. Because once the first $1,000 is invested, The real difference is what you do with your next $20. Watch that next, because most people never learn the weekly habit. And that is the part that makes your money stop depending on luck.